Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Monday, January 1st. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Over the past few days, I've been playing an interview that I did with Anna Hartley, where we talked about some of the best and worst things that happened over the past 12 months in social media and tech. In today's episode, we're going to talk about our predictions for 2024, and for a little bit of fun, we're going to talk about our favorite social media accounts currently. First, here are our predictions for 2024 for social and tech. Let's go on to predictions for 2024. What are your predictions for the next 12 months, whether it's tech, social, anything?
Instagram, at least. I think Instagram's going to bring back some more Instagram bonuses, which they've done a ton of things to help creators more consistent income, but some of them I don't think work great for the masses of people. So that would be one prediction, I guess.
I was thinking a lot about AI and looking for AI to be integrated in more places. So I was thinking right now, you can, if you have a smart speaker, you can ask, the time and the weather and all things like that, but you can't ask it to make a dinner reservation or book plane tickets or put those things together and, make a trip for you, like the way you ask ChatGPT to give like an itinerary and stuff. I would say that if more AI services are connecting to other things, if ChatGPT could integrate to Google Flights or what, I would see that as a really big opportunity to make AI a lot more useful in our everyday lives. And it really becomes a virtual assistant at that point. You might pay someone who lives overseas a few dollars an hour to do a lot of virtual tasks for you, or maybe the AI could do it for you by the end of 2024. So that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing and using, because I feel like there's a lot of tasks. If I could just text it, hey, do this for me, or just say it out loud to my smart speaker or whatever, and not worry about it again, I would see that as being a huge improvement in terms of getting time back.
Yeah, AI is just going to explode. I think right now there's still a lot of misconceptions, and it's a huge beast. So it's all going to change really quickly at the same time. But, I think you got a handful of people who think, oh, you can use AI for this now, so it doesn't take marketers any time. And you're always going to have to check it and read it, or it's going to be wrong or make no sense. Or at least, right now it's like that. And so it's, there's the one part of me that's like, you almost don't even want to tell them you're doing it, because then they don't think what you do takes any time. And on the other hand, there's people who are like, oh, this AI thing, and want to ignore it completely. And I think next year that will I think we'll be forced more and more into it, and people will have a more accurate depiction of what it can and can't do and how much it can really help you be efficient.
Absolutely. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Anna and I are going to talk about our favorite social media accounts. So stick around. And we're back. In this clip, Anna and I talk about our favorite social media accounts. Let's go on to favorite social media account. What's your favorite either social media account right now or over the past 12 months?
There's a girl that I've been watching recently who I like a lot. Her name is Marta Sierra. She just does funny little transitions and reels, and she gets invited to a lot of fashion things and wears ridiculous things and wears really crazy clothing, which is not my style at all, but it's fun to watch her film these things. And I don't know, I like her. And then there's another girl, I was saying, she's an astronaut, and she just shows her life and that women can be astronauts, and does her makeup before she goes to space and all this stuff. And it's she's sort of breaking a lot of barriers. And she has a daughter, and she's just very cutesy, and I don't know, it's just sort of joyful little breaks to the day.
That's very inspiring. I like the woman astronaut. I'm not familiar with that person, but I think that's a really interesting one. I picked Mr. Cox, who, if you're not familiar, he's a school teacher, and the kids sort of have this trend where they walk in front of the camera, they announce what outfit they're wearing, and then they give the camera to Mr. Cox, who tells a very long story, often about corn or former students or something funny that happened to him or his family. And I just looked him up in preparation for this interview, and it turns out he is a comedian, which I didn't know. But watching the interactions between him and his students is really funny.
I think
if you're not familiar with Mr.
TikTok.
Cox,
he does a lot of sort of word puns.
He's a very quirky guy, and he's definitely got a weird way of talking. And I'm not sure if that's just a Midwestern thing or just him and the way he communicates. But the other account that I wanted to talk about, which has been a favorite social media account for a long time, is Comments by Celebs. Are you familiar with Comments by
No.
Celebs? Okay, so I think one of my favorite things about Instagram is watching some of the celebrities who I think are cool or interesting or good at acting or whatever, and noticing their friendships. And this account kind of highlights some of the either inside jokes that they have or the way that they communicate with each other through comments on Instagram. So if someone posts an outfit that they wore to an award show or something, someone else who is a famous actor either hyping them up or making a comment or suggesting they do something different or whatever, the way they just interact and Comments by Celebs highlights those interactions. So that's been one of my favorite accounts for a long time. And it helps you feel like you're in the inside joke. You're aware of those interactions now, and you're seeing those relationships. Just because they act together on screen doesn't necessarily mean they're friends, but sometimes from the comments that they make, you can see how their friendship has developed or the way their friendship actually is. So I really like that account. Yeah, Comments by Celebs, if you haven't seen it.
I'll have to check that one out. I would probably like that. I'm not huge on following celebrities, but I do really like Steve Aoki and Paris Hilton are friends, and I always find that very funny and humorous. And they've like DJ'd together at Tomorrow World and things, and she's jumping up and down and very, princessy, and then he's throwing cakes at people, and they're both just raging together. It's really funny. You can tell throughout time they have a friendship. And same thing with like Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. I think I like when it's like celebrity pairs you wouldn't expect. I think are really fun to watch.
Absolutely. That is it for today's episode. Over the past few days, this has really felt like something different on the show. So I hope you like it. I felt like it was a really good way to do something different than the news while still kind of talking about all the events that have happened over the past 12 months that are significant. Next episode, we will be getting back into the Adam Mosseri Ask Me Anything. So be sure to come back for that next time. And I'm sure by then there will be more social media news. As always, thank you so much.
Instagram news got you covered. Sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave. Without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads. At Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.